Welcome back to The Vocalist. Today I am hearing the band Soch for the first time, and this particular performance also features the singer Hadiya Hashmi. Here we go.
Nescafe Basement Season 5 जागना तो पड़ेगा.
रंग जा अपने ही रंग तू हो जा अपने ही संग तू रंग जा अपने ही रंग तू हो जा अपने ही संग तू बना ले छोटी सी दुनिया हो जा मस्त मलंग तू बोल हू बोल 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 खाली खाली आंखों से सपने बुनता जा मन अपने की कर ले तू सबकी सुनता जा
Okay, I'm gonna pause. Otherwise, I'm just gonna get lost in this until the very end. Wow, we're going back. We're going back to the beginning. Just with before we even talk about vocals, I really enjoy I guess we'll call it like the orchestration of this piece. I mean, there are a lot of instruments involved, and it's giving such a full sound to like the song as a whole, but there's a simplicity in that. I feel like a lot of layering is happening. A lot of instruments are playing the same sort of rhythms or similar melodies. You know, it's just, yeah, I'm enjoying the combination of simplicity with maybe it's like a broadness of sound. Like there's so much fullness, which I think is so pretty and beautifully complements this singer's vocals. So
Season 5 जागना तो पड़ेगा.
रंग जा अपने ही रंग तू हो जा अपने ही संग तू
this must have been so enjoyable for them to record, because they're not like crammed into a tiny space. You know, they all have space to do their thing individually, but they're, you know, making eye contact and working with each other as a unit. It's just really, really cool to watch. His voice is, I'm trying to let me listen again. There's a quality that I'm hearing and I just can't put my finger on.
हो जा अपने ही संग तू
I think it's this sort of containment. Again, I've said this a million times in previous videos, I was trained in like Western classical tradition when it comes to singing. So there are a lot of techniques that I am not familiar with, or that I've never learned myself. But it feels as if there's just this incredible amount of back pressure that's giving this sort of contained sound, even though there are moments where it's like full and boomy and just like, I don't know, like gold just flowing out, like a river of gold flowing out of his mouth. But it's like, I'm a very visual person. So when I think about this river of gold, it's still like contained. It's not like splashing everywhere. You know, it's like just this really solid flowing source. Yes, don't you just love my technical explanations? We're gonna keep going.
रंग जा अपने ही रंग तू हो जा अपने ही संग तू.
I love the combination of nasality with backspace. That is a big sound that I am hearing in this, and I think it is absolutely beautiful because that nasality, that forward placement, it helps give that ping that I love so much. It helps sound carry, but that backspace is giving us this gorgeous, full, round quality to the sound. So it doesn't strike the listener as overly anything. You know, I think a lot of times you'll hear singers and you might think, ooh, that's a really, you know, rich, boomy voice, or oh, that's a really bright, forward, nasal voice, or something like that. But this is just such a really nice combination of the two. That I love. So this, sorry, I've got a hair somewhere on my face that's just staying put. The joys of owning a cat. Let me play that again. There's almost like a smokiness in this mix, and I think it is so cool because it's not texture. It's like this really let me hear it again. So smooth as he takes that descending line. Like, it's just like butter. This whole thing it's so beautiful. But yes, that mix voice, you know, whenever we sing in mix, at least as I define it, you know, it's high enough so CT muscles engage, but we still have the power and the press that the TA muscle provides. And there are so many variations and so many different degrees of mixed voice, whether you're edging closer to head voice or more toward chest voice. And so there's this particular sound that I'm hearing from him, so full, a decent amount of press, but I feel like there's just enough separation in the chords that's giving us that smoky, I don't know, timbre maybe?
Bol Hu. Bol Hu. Bol Hu. Bol Hu.
One of my favorite things, and I think I can say this with absolute certainty, when I'm watching singers, I love hearing an ooh vowel and seeing a proper ooh rounding of the lips. So many times as singers, we will sing ooh, but it's like ooh instead of ooh. The sound changes drastically, and I love that really beautiful rounded sound. And of course, I've said this before, the advantage to rounding the lips, like the lips are a part of the vocal tract. And so when you round them, they naturally stand out even more. So we're lengthening the vocal tract whenever we have an ooh vowel. So technically it's a great tool, but I think it's not the case with every singer, but I think a lot of singers don't use a full rounded embouchure for ooh because A, either they can't hear it as well, or B, it flips the vowel more into head voice than they want, and so it's a matter of coordination. But hearing him move through a decent part of his range here with that gorgeous ooh shaping, that was exciting to see.
Bol Hu. खाली खाली आंखों से सपने बुनता जा मन अपने की कर ले तू सबकी सुनता जा ओ, खाली खाली आंखों से सपने बुनता जा मन अपने की कर ले तू सबकी सुनता जा टूटी टूटी सांसों से लड़ता जा बढ़ता जा टुकड़ा टुकड़ा कर करके किस्मत चुनता जा.
I won't go back. I know this is a long one. That tu sound, I don't know if it's tu or do, but that sat so much higher than what came previously, and it was just, he has incorporated so many gorgeous colors in 2.5 minutes. I mean, it's outstanding. I mean, it's just, I love hearing it. Also, there were moments of like slight oscillation that we heard, and that just tiny bit of movement I think is so captivating.
बोले तन मन जब हूँ ठंडी लगती है फिर लूं सजदे में आंसू गिरा दे हो जा मस्त मलंग तू बोलूं.
Sorry, I want to hear. I love the utilization of silence. It's perfection, and it's almost like, you know, a nice like waiting for the beat to drop sort of moment. I love it.
मस्त मलंग तू बोलूं 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 बोलूं.
Oh my gosh. This child is so young. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I don't even know. I'm going to see if I can I want to see if I can get a rough idea of age. Oh golly. I'm not really getting any concrete answers. It looks like she's 7 or 8 here. Oh my gosh. Let's I don't know how far back to go. We're just going back to the beginning because how stunning was that? It's so fascinating to watch her because she's got incredible dexterity, and I'll try and point that out. But there are also moments where it looks like she's using like external factors to help her achieve sound. And I don't know if that is the usual approach, if that is something that young singers do until they've developed like the agility necessary. You guys can let me know, but here we go. The breath control, like the phrasing here, again, for such a small child is so impressive. And I mean, yes, I understand like a lot of, how do I say this? It's not that it's impossible for young singers to do these things, but it's a combination of both like the added skill necessary and also the added determination and persistence, dedication, because that is, I mean, you know, as a young student, like developing one's attention span and like actually dedicating time to practice, like all of these things factor into, you know, whenever we see like prodigies of any art form, you know, any medium, that is, it's not just the talent alone. Like there is a completely additional set of skills necessary in order to achieve this. And so I'm very impressed. That was a moment. Now, I don't know the name of those oscillations, but it's a similar sort of kind of similar concept to when we think about vibrato in Western music. And you will see some singers shake their heads or move their jaws or their tongues, or sometimes like pulse like their abdomen to achieve vibrato outside of the larynx. And so my question was if that is a tool that's used for younger singers in order to develop the sensation. You know, first you have to kind of understand what it feels like in the larynx to replicate it. And obviously her larynx is still growing, like it's not fully developed. So I'm just super curious. See, that's the thing. No matter how much you learn about techniques and different styles of singing, it's almost like there's not all the time, but a lot of times it feels like there's a completely different set of rules for singers whose voices and anatomy, like everything's still in development. Because if I certainly couldn't use the techniques I do today when I was 8 or 7 or however old she is, you know, so I imagine it's the same way in this genre of music. okay, as soon as she said ma, or that sound, I don't know what the word was, but we flipped into a mix and we got a lot of extra nasality. It still was so present. And then what's incredible to me is she ascended into far more head dominant space, but because she had a lot of press in her chords, it maintained that nice full sound as opposed to, you know, just a really light, airy vocalization. And it's just, that was incredibly impressive to me, because most young singers have a hard time developing head voice because they don't use it. And so obviously, you know, she's been trained, she's been educated, she knows how to, but actually getting to see that in a young singer is really special. If you watch this back without my constant interruption, you will see her tongue is so neutral, just in that nice pillowy position in the mouth, and her jaw, that like home base position for her, is down and back. Like there's just no tension in sight. And so it granted, this was 6 years ago. I will be watching something immediately after this to see what she sounds like now, because all of these beautiful, lovely habits are ingrained in her at such a young age. I can only imagine, like, not having to work through that as you develop, you know, not having to eliminate tension is, I can only imagine just how glorious she continues to sound today and throughout her progression. I want to hear that again. I'm sorry for those of you who are waiting for that beat to drop. That transition, like, she's so crisp and precise with her text, and then just the change in like how she emotes from one verse to the next, or one line to the next, phrase to the next. I don't know. It's just, it's so beautiful. Like, there is so much artistry happening. I just, okay. Here we go.
Bol Hu, Bol Hu, Bol Hu,
that was such an impressive collaboration. Wow. I mean, the whole time I'm just watching the lead singer of Soch and loving it and impressed with what he does, and then to add to this piece such a remarkable young artist is, I mean, wow. I don't even have anything else to say. The phrasing from both of them, the colors that we were hearing, like the nuance from line to line, it was just, there was so much precision, and yet not in the sense that I felt like it was, sectioned off. I feel like the piece as a whole just like was beautiful. So that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for this recommendation and for watching with me, and hopefully I will see you next time.